Hello everyone and welcome back to Shade Spills podcast. It has been a while, I do apologise. I have been doing other new hobbies as well as podcasting. I'll be concentrating on that more, but I will be talking more about that at the end of the podcast. Now this week's podcast episode is on the FA Women's Football League, which is in England. And yes, it's football, not soccer. If you probably are aware or seen any of my other podcast episodes, I've already done 2 episodes on women's football about the Women's World Cup and women's football inequality. So if you don't want to check them out, they are in the bio or wherever on my podcast you can get through the episodes, I believe. Now let's dive straight into this, as I have a lot of writing and a script we need to get through. So let's go. Now, the FA Cup was founded in the 22nd of March in 2010, so it's still young. It's only 11 years old. This year has been sponsored by Barclay, and there are 16 clubs. So usually it happens, there's 8 places in the inaugural season of the league, which was Arsenal, Barnet, Birmingham City, Bristol Academy, Chelsea, Colchester United. I probably pronounced that really bad. I'm not English, so I do apologise. Doncaster Rovers, Bells, Everton, Leeds, Carnage and Leicester City, along with Lincoln Ladies, Liverpool, Millwall Lionesses, Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest and Sunderland. Leeds Carnage later withdrew their application, but in 2017 and in 2018 the season, FA announced that the league would become a fully professional league for the first time, with 11 teams in the 2018 to 2019 season. Now the league was extended to 12 teams for the 2019 to 2020 season, with Unival relegated after going into in administration, have been replaced by Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, who gained promotion from the Championship. So in 2020 and already this year in 2021, you already know we've been in COVID, and extremely more harder this year, I think, for football, as it was on halt a lot of the time. But this season, the team's main leagues was following Arsenal, Aston Villa, Birmingham City, Brighton and Hove, Albion, Bristol City, Chelsea, Everton and Manchester City, Manchester United, Reading, Tottenham Spurs, West Ham United. Obviously Arsenal and Chelsea women have been both the highest teams winning the cup, following Liverpool. The British bank Barclays, from the start of the 2019 to 2020 season, they have been doing the 3-year sponsorship deal, which was reported to be excessive of £10 million, with a prize pot of £500,000. Why was I saying that way? For the league championship for the first time ever, which is incredibly big for women's sports. The FA described the deal as the biggest ever investment in the UK for women's sport by a brand, which is amazing. With the sponsorship comes with the broadcasting of the matches. Majority of the matches are on the FA Player, the BBC Red Button or the BBC Sport. The only way I can see the matches through is the FA Player right now, as it's free, which you do have to sign in, and there's a bit of complications with signing in for me, I think. Majority of the time, if I haven't been on the app for during the week and I'm only on the app on the weekends when the matches are on, I have to re-sign in again, and if you have so many passwords to remember, it's kind of difficult to remember. I wish they did kind of have an auto save so you can just stay in it, like Facebook and Twitter and all them have, I particularly think. Anyway, so yeah, the BBC Red Button, also and BT Sports. Now I don't have those either. BBC Red Button can be a bit off as well. Some of the matches might not even be on, which is pain in the hole, to be honest. Also, yeah, and it depends on my satellite on my TV as well, if I do get it. And I will tell you what, the FA player has problems with it. The app itself, like for example, the lag behind the real time is really delayed, and depending on different matches locations, the cameras can be either be zoomed in or showing just the full pitch without zooming into the players for the goals and the saves, which is a bit frustrating because obviously I want to see who's who, and you don't get that compared to men's sports. They obviously have the facilities more than the women. Along with that, some of the commentaries have clearly not done their research on the women's players, which is also annoying because it'd be incredibly awkward listening to some of them who haven't a clue. Now, for anyone who doesn't aware, I am an Arsenal fan, and I'm also an Arsenal women's supporter. I would say mostly I support the women's team more than the men currently. The men aren't particularly doing great. We're doing a little bit better now, but the women have been always strong, which I'm very happy about. I do, of course, support other women's football teams as well as Arsenal. Of course, I'm not just one team only. I do like Chelsea and Manchester United and Manchester City, and a few other teams, except Tottenham. Just as the rivalry of Arsenal and Tottenham Spurs, you know the deal. I'm not a Tottenham Spurs fan. So along with that as well, you know, there's bigger teams like, of course, Arsenal, Chelsea, United and City. It is definitely harder for the smaller clubs to compete with bigger budgets. You see it in the leaderboard with them. It's hard, for sure. But it's surprising, just like Brighton and Hove Albion have actually got 6th place this year in this season at the end, which is fantastic to see a small club like them doing so well. Of course, the end of the season has now happened. It is May. The overall winner was Chelsea. There was no doubt they weren't going to win it. They're so strong as a team. And of course, poor Bristol have been relegated, which just sucks. So we'll see who'll be coming up now from the Championship soon. But Arsenal stayed in, so I'm happy with that. They have placed 3rd, which is fantastic. And now the season, of course, can go without having minor troubles. Of course, with COVID testing and cancellations. For example, back in January and February, the weather was so mixed. It was snowing to rain to dry, which then meant pitches weren't in the condition they were supposed to be. So when it snowed, you couldn't see the snow with the cameras. You couldn't see the players, so they cancelled. Along with over waterlogged pitches, they didn't think of. I think, you know, teams like that, you know, or the organisation of it, if there's something like that going to happen, they should just have a replacement pitch on the side ready just in case. Just to have the match still going ahead. A lot of the matches were delayed, so they were like moved back to obviously May, so that's why some of the matches were on. Along with that, what else do I have? COVID, of course. People getting tested, and then some people who obviously get tested positive, and then there's some people who are breaking COVID rules and restrictions by going to house parties, and that has happened with, I believe it was Birmingham. A couple of their players went to a house party and got tested positive, and of course that meant that they had to report it in, which then meant they got a fine and they got some points taken away. I believe it was only 4 to 5 points, but that was a massive lot of points for them because they weren't doing well. It was halfway through the season. At the end of the season, we already know Chelsea women have won, and their manager Emma Hayes has set to sign a new deal with Chelsea. Her current contract was already 3.5 years, signed in 2017, so it's coming the end of June, so she's probably going to stay with Chelsea as they're doing so well. And anyway, she's a fantastic manager. I can't complain about her. You know, she's a really good set of mind for the team, and obviously has great communication with the team. Along with that, Ellen White is staying with Manchester City. She was with Birmingham City beforehand. She's now signing a 2-year deal. Along with that, 2 seasons with England, playing in England, I should say. Arsenal's Jill Roord is now departing and rejoining Wolfsburg. So that's obviously sad to see one of my favourite players leaving. She was doing so well. She really had she had a hat trick during the very beginning of the season, which was unreal. Now, as well as that, Jack Sullivan, who was the managing director of the Women's Super League side of West Ham, is stepping down. He's very young, like he's only 21. He was 18 when he took the job up in May in 2017, and is the son, of course, of West Ham's own joint chairman David Sullivan. So he has so he knows experience of it, but he's stepping down, which is unfortunate. But he's also starred in a documentary. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It was on BBC Three. It was Britain's youngest football boss, basically pulling the team around. Obviously, West Ham is still a small team. They came from Championship to Super League, so definitely with that they were going to have a struggle at the beginning to get in and get used to the Super League. England's most capped player, Farah Williams, has announced that she is retiring at the end of the season. The 37-year-old midfielder... What am I doing? I can't speak today. I'm really sorry. Midfielder. There we go. Has been with Reading since 2017 and has made over 172 England appearances, including in 3 World Cups, which is absolutely insane. And I remember watching her, and I think it was 2015 World Cup, scoring. I'm not sure what team it was, but I think she had the highest amount of goals for England that time. Along with that, I mean, this is really good news to hear that the Run Repeat survey of 5,000 football fans published during the week. Run Repeat found women's football should get a 296.7% increase in the UK if on TV, while in the EU increases could be as high as 358.7 and 304.6 in the US. The survey comes on the back of the 8 million per season deal for the broadcast rights to the Women's Super League, which will involve the top flight matches being aired on BBC One, BBC Two, and across the main sports of Sky Sports channels, which obviously is fantastic. Compared to them in America, America is streaming on Twitch, which is, if anyone doesn't know, Twitch is what I'm actually on, streaming gaming. So a lot of sporting events now is going on Twitch as well. So interesting to see, because I believe I was watching the American League streams. I think it was on YouTube, and that was shocking. That was 4 or 5 years ago, and that was really bad. But now they've better, but it's still an improvement. It's still improving, I think, every year with women's sports. I think, for me, I believe, which is obviously good. Along with that, now I've just seen, of course, if anyone hasn't seen already during the weekend, Casey Stoney, who was the Manchester United women's manager, has now decided to step down as manager. It's believed it's because of what's happening in Manchester United with the ownership. A lot of people have seen it the last 2 to 3 weeks, with the protests and everything of obviously what was going on with the Super League. That was absolutely madness. From what I read on The Guardian, it's saying that they're discussing the future of the club's houses for players, though they have are understood to be a routine. Stoney, who has 130 caps, will leave the United final game in the season after Leicester in the FA Cup 5th round on Sunday, and is understood to be stunned with the learned of her intention about an hour before it was made public. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, so she was a member of Philip Neville's England backroom staff before she took the task of putting together the United's newly formed senior side. They were obviously promoted in 2019 and then finished 4th in the top division after the season ended early by the pandemic. But you know what, Manchester United women are still a strong team. And now I don't know if it's, but she quoted saying, "It's been an honour to lead the women's team at this great club. and this has been an incredibly tough decision. I've loved leading this group and I am proud of what we've achieved together. However, after a difficult season with disruption caused by the pandemic, I now feel it's time to take the time some away. I read that. To take some time away and for someone else to come in and lead the team with the new stage of its journey. Which is interesting. Obviously, it's gonna be with them, the owners. It's not. Could be worth it. I've seen another one there about Casey Stoney. I did see Carla Ward, who was Birmingham's manager, has also resigned, but wants to stay in the women's soccer league. She was absolutely so that's another manager gone. And obviously, if anyone doesn't know, Arsenal's manager resigned. In a way, I was kind of happy about that, but who's going to take up? That's 3 managers now. Who's going to take up all those roles? Oh god, I didn't think about that. Oh, I hope we get someone good though. Seriously, I can't. Oh, I mean, anyway. Well, I don't even like Arsenal's owner. We won't talk about him because I just rant. That's all I have at the moment for the women's football. Obviously because the season's now finished. Now the Euros is not going to happen until next year, hopefully. And it's in the UK, so maybe I might go. We'll see. Hopefully it's happening. We'll see. I mean, the men's is still going on this summer, but we'll see how that goes. Despite that, the Olympics, I don't know what's going to happen with the Olympics. The Japanese citizens are like protesting. They don't want the Olympics to go ahead. We'll see. Anyway, that is all for the podcast, but I'm going to talk about now my other hobby. So if you don't know, I think I said it the last time I did my podcast as well. I'm streaming on Twitch. So if you don't know what Twitch is a streaming website which is mostly for gaming. I do game on there, so I play mostly Warzone and Fortnite, and I am playing a bit of some horror, which I only do it for the content. I don't like it. It's scary. And basically, yeah, it's for video gaming, including broadcasts of esports competitions, which are incredibly popular. I got into it a while ago, but if you do want to go and look at me on Twitch, my link will be in the about of this discussion of the women's football. Along with that, I'm now going to probably go back to work now full time. As if you know, in Ireland we are opening again. So it's June 2nd, the hotel I work in is opening. So we will see how that goes. So this might be only one episode a month now if it's really, really, really busy. But we shall see. Also, that means streaming is going to be put back from 2 days to maybe 1 or 2. We'll see. We'll figure it out anyway. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you're all well. Mind yourself, stay safe, and I will see you all very soon.